So good evening, everyone who's watching this Zoom live on recorded version on YouTube. Guys, this is just specifically a session we're doing for probable article students. The question is whether should we join a big four, whether should we join a mid-sized large firm, whether, what kind of, so many questions come up. And I thought that this video will really help you. In this series, we made a video yesterday, which is on the big four, and this one is on mid-sized and large firms. They're really great firms. Typically in Mumbai. We're doing this in Mumbai, but this is typical of any city that you would find in India. So this would be helpful. And we're just going to throw across questions. So let me introduce you to a really nice panel who've really done a good job of getting together everyone on such a short notice. So here is Dave from a very, very niche, really big now firm called Transaction Square. It was started by one of the ex-partners of a Big Four, and they're doing really well. Sid here is from a firm which is Dhruva Advisors, again a big four partner, a really head of a big four started Dhruva, and it's become really big, very famous as well. Karishma is at Anisha. As far as I am concerned, and I know that there is one guy or one firm which is really very big in internal audit, and there is Anisha. And Nishit's at KNAV, again a really fancy firm. These all firms, what I understand, they're as at par with any big four in terms of their office, in terms of the people they work with, or the clients as well. So let's talk to them about it. So guys, welcome to this video and thank you so much for taking our time. Guys, it's a Sunday and doing anything like this is actually illegal, I was telling them, but they are here to help you guys out. So thank you guys. All right, so let's shoot the first question. I want to understand how did you decide on this firm? Did you actually intentionally aim for a firm like this, or did you just apply randomly and then choose a firm? And did you guys also have a big four offer while you all chose this firm? Anyone can take it up.
Yeah, I had a great plan. I wanted to go to mid-size only because of a good exposure there, and Transaction Square was something that I know of, and I just gave the interview there. And I didn't give it anywhere else. And in next 2 days, I got a call, and yeah, I was in.
So according to Dev, easy to convert and somewhere
Yeah,
that you get exposure and you heard of it. Okay, Sid, Karishma, Nishit, what's your experience like? Did you aim for the firm?
So, sir, I'll talk about myself.
Yes.
I actually was clear about the profile that I wanted to be,
Okay.
which was tax.
Okay.
But being confused at that point, like not completely deciding, I had also applied to PwC, KNEV, and a couple of other firms.
Okay.
So before I got into Dhruva, I actually had an offer from PwC.
From
And
PwC.
I also got and I also got on a call with someone from KNAV.
Yeah.
Both of those
I think we had a
interviews were
discussion.
for
I think we had a discussion around it. Did you go to Dhruva and Melvin there? Were you the one who had the discussion with?
yeah. I talked to you about Melvin, but
Great.
I'm not very sure whether that
That
helped.
worked. Perfect. Guys, just a background. Some of these guys, Nishit, Karishma, Sid, some of them are my students from my class in Mumbai. So I have a little background about what they've done and how they've applied. So yes, I remember. So Sid, you then had to choose between their firms and you chose Dhruva.
Correct. So we are during the interviews of other firms, I realized that I was not at all into the audit profile, and I converted Dhruva maybe by luck, maybe by something that the interviewer saw in me. But yeah,
Of course,
that is
interview
how
saw in you. I completely believe interview saw something good in you. But how are you so keen or how are you so determined कि ये करना है? Like I want to do tax. Like what triggers that?
I feel that during the preparation itself, you find love for some subjects, and you find that you are doing some subjects just for the sake of passing.
Awesome,
And
exactly.
tax was something that intrigued my passion for CA.
Perfect. Very happy to hear something on tax, something good there. Karishma Nishit, yes. Tell me about how.
So for me, it
Yeah.
was a bit of a different experience. Like I would say Anisha is more of a destiny for me because I always wanted to go to Big Four, but that did not happen. I could not clear both groups together and all of that. So Big Four was not for me. I realized that. And then one thing was very clear from the beginning that I wanted to go for tax because as Sid said that while you're preparing for a subject, you get an idea what you love and what you actually want to do it like in the future as well. So tax was very clear. I was very clear with the tax thing. So not Big Four. Then it was like, okay, I will go for the other best alternative option. So also I was clear that I will give interviews in not just 2 3 firms, because you get an idea when you give an interview what the person is expecting, what the firm is expecting at a broader level. So I gave interviews in around like 6 7 firms. Yeah, that is maybe a bit too
That's
much,
so
but
good
then
to
I
hear.
was sure that I want that experience of interview, giving the interview and all of that. So Anisha was more of a destiny thing. I knew about Anisha and there was like a walk-in drive. So I just went and gave and I got selected. And LinkedIn has played a very, very important role, because each and every firm that I gave interview in, I connected people from that firm through LinkedIn. I talked to
Very
them about
similar
the
story
work
happened
culture.
yesterday also, that they said that Big Four also they apply through LinkedIn. So I think that really works. Also, I want to tell you, Karishma,
Yeah.
that's such an important thing you spoke about, that giving multiple interviews. People get stuck up with just one.
Yeah.
I think you should give multiple interviews. That also improves your interview skills. I think you can answer the questions better. Great. Nishit, some
Like
thoughts on.
even
Yeah,
yeah.
sure.
Like even if you're sure you want to go in this firm, I would still suggest giving more and more interviews at least, like to have an idea, to get a broader perspective over the industry as well.
Perfect. Nishit, what about you? How did you choose?
So after my CA inter, uh, I was pretty adamant that I did not want to do audit just because the subject in itself uh, did not seem right to me. I did not pursue it for the for the as- basically my options were taxation, valuation, valuation. Basically, I want to go for a niche practice. Want so I interviewed in various firms from the tax perspective. I interviewed KNA, KPMG, and for transfer pricing
So
for transfer.
KPMG, KPA, KNAV. You gave some couple of interviews there. Okay.
Uh, Basically, and secondly, I was selected in transfer pricing for pay in PW, but due to some personal 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 issues, I go. So it was the right thing for me.
Oh, so you actually got a Big Four call and you did not take that and you took KNAV instead. That's something really nice, which because people are obsessed with the Big Fours, and here is someone who's actually, made a very smart decision or maybe a very different decision. All right, so I just want to understand, guys, what is a typical day at work, and are mid-sized and large firms allowing you to work from home? Any two people can take that up. Typical day at work.
So I would like to start by saying KNV has a very good working environment in the sense that they're very flexible with the uh, flexible in the sense that if you want to work from home, you could work from home, or you could go to office. So my usually goes to office 3 times in a week.
And this is
The
audit or
usual
tax? Nishit? Tax.
day
Okay.
tax.
Okay.
And our usual workings are from 8 to around 7.
Oh, nice. So you can work from home and they're flexible, something that is not very heard of in Big Fours. Anyone else, guys? What's a typical day at work like? What do you do? Can you work from home?
So, like, yeah, we have work from home policies, but generally in our firm, it is preferred to like come and do the work, because that the coordination becomes much easier, and whatever the
Faster.
communication, it happens faster and efficiently.
Yeah.
So that, but yeah, we have the option from working
But do
from home,
you, like,
and also,
honestly, I
yeah.
enjoy going to office and working. Do you
Yeah,
enjoy?
yeah, even I enjoy. Yeah, even I would rather go and work for less hours than take a work from home or whatever. Like if I
Yeah.
have to go out or I have something urgent, I would rather go for like some time, like 5 hours or 6 hours, rather than taking a work from home. So even I personally prefer going and doing the work. And even we have flexibility for coming to the office. Like 10 to 11 is the flexibility, because like they also understand that we have classes, we got to study and all of that. So they respect that, and we get the flexibility to reach by 11 max or
Great.
11:15,
Great.
whatever, like 10
So, a
to
very
11.
different
Yeah.
question I want to ask you guys now is internal switching allowed in firms like y'all? Because you guys have not chosen big fours, you'll have chosen large firms, but you'll have still stuck to a particular department. So if you are not happy with the department or you want some variety of work, are these firms or are large firms allowing you all to switch and do other kind of work? Say they
Yeah.
if you could take this question up. Yeah.
So typically in my firm, so I have a mergers and acquisition profile.
Yes.
And if supposingly if anyone wants to switch to that, we have two other options as valuation and financial due diligence. So
Yes.
we can just change it as we want. We can talk to both of the partners, and it's a very pretty easy deal to get on and work with some other team. So it works. It is very helpful in that way. We get experience of both the things in the same firm, in the
Very
same group.
unheard of in big fours. You cannot switch. If you don't like the work, you have to settle with it. But that's something really nice at a large firm, that you have an option to switch, or probably at least work profile you can juggle. Sid, what about you in your firm?
So actually, my firm does only direct tax, and a team does indirect tax, but they don't take articles. So I think the choices for us are very restrictive, and even within
Because
the
overall the
departments,
firm is only doing that. It's not because
correct. So it's a very
okay,
niche for Goa.
okay,
But also I haven't seen internal switching as a trend. Like it's never happened.
okay.
Maybe because nobody has even asked for it yet. If there were
Fair,
any examples,
fair. So, like, Big Four working is honestly like watching a Shah Rukh Khan or Salman Khan movie. You see a trailer and you feel, oh, it's going to be great, and then you land up watching Kisi Ka Bhai, Kisi Ki Jaan. So it sometimes is very disappointing. So I want to understand from you all, when you all chose your firm, were your expectations met when you all actually joined the firm? Because you don't expect the world out of large firms, you expect a good working environment. But did it meet your expectations? Any one, two people could take this up.
yeah. So I think I'll go for this.
Sure.
When you join a mid-sized firm, you expect them to make you work a lot, and you don't expect the work quality to be as great as that of a big four.
Yeah.
But after joining and talking to a lot of friends who are in big four, I realized that mid-sized partners as compared to big fours, maybe they might have smaller clients, like that's a possibility, not necessarily,
Yeah.
but they have wider variety of clients. So let's say if you are in a if you are in PwC and in an audit environment, if they plot you on a client, then you'll have to do their
Totally
audit for
agree.
3 years straight.
Yes.
And as compared to that, in my profile, my direct tax advisory profile, I get to talk with a lot of clients. There are a couple of retainers, but there are a lot of one-offs. So the work quality for me was actually unexpected. Like
So
I never thought that this is the
excellent.
quality of work that they would give to articles,
So good to
because
hear.
they
So it
really
basically met your
and they really involve.
expectations, even beyond
Yeah,
what you thought it would.
correct. And it can be tiring or maybe toxic even for like sometimes. But you're doing CS, so what are your
You're
expectations?
prepared for that. All right.
Yeah.
Anyone else wants to take that up? Expectations versus reality. Yeah.
So I went in for more of a P or a VC background, like an
Okay.
AIF structuring in that part, and I'm pretty happy. My partner works in that here, so when he was in KPMG, he was dealing with that stuff only. So I inherit that only from him. I get structuring, so it's pretty good when you have to do with that. Obviously, there are some times when you don't get the work that you want,
Yeah.
but overall, the structuring part, doing with AIFs, angel funds, VCs, that's pretty good.
So when you entered with an expectation, has it met your expectations? Has it,
Yeah.
on most days, does it
So
meet your
yeah, yeah.
Perfect, great. Guys, mid-size large firms, there is a myth, and I feel it's a myth. You all can correct or you all can disagree or agree that a lot of micromanagement happens. A manager is always sitting on your head, micromanaging it, and there are fewer people. Is that the culture in mid-size large firms, or do they give you the work and do they allow you to do it within a timeline which they specify? Like, what is the work culture like?
So,
So it is definitely, you go
Like,
for it, Vishal.
okay, so So basically, the work culture over here is very good in a sense that the seniors are very supportive. Seniors are very supportive and they guide you through the process of how to do the work. They they very micromanagers. So basically, they assign as a task and they ask us to complete uh, time, time, with that provide the task. Yeah, if we are able to with they give us more time. If
So not too much micromanagement, some flexibility as well. So that's a good thing. Yes, Karishma, you were saying something.
Yeah, so we have the hierarchy, of course. Like a big four, we absolutely have that hierarchy: partner, associate partner, manager, AM, and all of that. And work is also done in that way, but we are not micromanaged. We have given the authority to do the work as we want to. They won't be like, why are you doing it this way or that way? And also, like, they would brief you before, like, expecting you to start and give them, they would brief you. They have this attitude of us learning and not getting the work done, not just getting the work done. They have this attitude of we learning something out of it and we giving our inputs also. It's encouraged and appreciated.
So I've run my
Yeah.
articleship from a big four, and I feel this was similar to what happened in a big four. And hence, I feel anyone who does an articleship in a large firm is not missing out. It's a similar kind of work culture. Of course, I had a boss
Yeah,
very challenging. I'm sure there are some bosses and some days which are challenging, but that is something that happened there as well. All right, great. Guys, next question I want to talk about specifically why if I have to do my articleship again, why I may choose a large firm or a mid-sized firm is because of the flexibility they offer. As a CA student, you have classes in the morning, you have some recorded things or some lectures you want to attend live also. Do your firms allow that kind of flexibility, or is it a very difficult thing to manage classes and work? Any of
no, they do allow. It's like having best of both the worlds, because it's like the kind of work that you do and the pressure that you get eventually does feel like big four at times. The quality of work and the pressure, and at the same time, you are given the opportunity of like managing your classes. As I said, we have the policy of 10 to 11 flexibility because you have class or you have
what
to
time do you
study
have
in
to
the
start
morning.
in the morning? Like what time does the day start?
So by max 11 or like 11:15, or so
Oh,
late you
nice.
can't, but yeah.
But that's
And
good. No?
then
That
you complete
allows you
your,
to
yeah, it
complete
is
your
good.
classes in the morning. Anyone else?
Right. Even for work from home also, they do consider this if you have classes and all of that on a weekend or whatever.
Something
Yeah.
nice. Anyone else also in your firm? What happens? How do you balance?
So, sir, they expect you to give all you've got during the season periods. So, for us, if tax audit and return filing is the season, then they expect things from you during that season to maybe work a little bit late and to maybe work on weekends. And as long as you give them that, they don't trouble you in any way during the rest of the year for your classes. And even they understand that you're here as an article
Yeah.
to do something that is compulsorily like specified by the ICAI, and your main goal is to clear CA files.
Do they give you
So
a comp
yeah,
off?
they
Sit in your office if you work on a Sunday. Do they give you a comp off?
if you stay there for 3 years complete, then yes, you get a comp off. But
Oh,
if you want to
excellent.
leave in between and go to an industrial firm or maybe switch
So
firms,
there is a
then
policy
I
of comp off in your firms as well.
yes.
Yes.
Great.
And in our firm, like there is a policy of credit hours. It's like if you're working on an extra day or extra hours, those credit hours you get, and that you can convert it as days and take those extra leaves for your final or whatever. So even we get those credit hours,
Oh, amazing.
hourly basis. And
Doesn't sound like
if
it.
I worked, yeah, if I worked one day extra, it's like 8 hours of credit hours. So like one day I've gained extra, and I can use that whenever as a holiday in between, or to add up in my CA final leaves.
Oh,
So
nice.
that is there.
Interesting. Interesting. Guys, late sitting, have you all had those crazy late sittings? Or is it
It is
very
a perfect time to ask this question.
excellent? Yeah,
Not
July,
not frequently. No.
not frequent.
I
So
guess
then
rarely.
what's the last you've like worked in an office till?
So the last I worked would be like 10 max, and that has only happened once or twice max. And
Excellent.
rest of the day it is 7:30, 7. 7:45. So the usual time.
Very manageable then. All right. Anyone? Any of
Yeah.
y'all? Yes.
Sir, I feel this late sitting actually depends more on the teams in a firm rather than the firms.
Yeah.
So in my firm too, like the max I sat was till 12 o'clock, and that happened once. But I know my friends within the firm in some other teams who work till 4 a.m. and
Okay.
sitting in the office itself.
Okay.
And similar thing I have heard from my friends happens in Big Fours too. Like there are some teams that are really well managed, or they prepare for the deadlines in such a way that
Yeah.
their work gets done in due course. But there are
It
some
actually
teams that maybe
typically
have a lot of work, or
Big Four
they
makes
are.
you work for later. Like you'll not find people like they who've had 10 or 10 max, and Big Fours they make you work like crazy. And as an article, I feel that's too much to do, but you can't escape. So it's good that you've been lucky there. And I think large firms has another advantage that you don't have like mad hours. You have good hours, but you don't have like those crazy
Yeah.
hours. So that's a
Yeah.
good thing. Yes. Guys, I want to understand, have you all bargained or have you all spoken, or is there a policy of CA final study leaves, and how many leaves would you typically get for your CA final exams?
So we have a 5 month leave. So it
Nice.
starts at May last week. Yeah, that's
Excellent. Anyone else? Is there a
The
policy?
same, even I have a 5 month leave. But my question is that a relevant question right now, because I feel the 2 year articleship period they give a compulsory 6 month pre
Now
leave
that
for.
question won't apply actually for people who are registering afresh, but there are a lot of people who are already in articleship. You don't know like how much to bargain for,
yeah.
etc. So the policy is about
Okay.
5 months in some firms. All right. Karishma, Nishit, any policies for leaves, study leaves?
It's
Not
similar actually.
5 months.
Just
Five. All right. Guys, that's a plus because most big fours give 4 months, four and a half for a stretch. So I think five is good and it helps you get that
Yeah.
much leverage, and when it comes to studying. Guys, good. I have another very, very important question, guys. A lot of people, there's a huge myth, and I know it's a myth, but they have a myth that if you work in a big four as an article, only then you have great career opportunities. So, when you see people in your organization who are chartered accountants and are doing well, do you think that not working in a big four, and I feel it's a stupid question to ask, but there's a myth, and I want to break that myth that people from non-big four articles also can land up, and always land up at good jobs after CA.
it is definitely a myth because the CAs also who got their articleship done from here, and those who chose to go somewhere else, they have got like good placements, be it Reliance or Marico, whatever. Like they have got really good placements, and it's definitely not like only Big Four can get such placements.
Thank you for
So yeah,
putting.
a myth, definitely.
Anyone else?
Even I know people who have worked in not large firms and go to Bain, McKinsey, and Goldman Sachs. So it's not a myth. Yeah, definitely not a myth. So you
It's
can go
not.
to any fund management firms anywhere. So I don't think that's a barrier.
Completely agree. Great. Just want to understand, I would choose large firms, mid-sized firms for a certain balance of life. Like, of course, you're working, but you have, because I know people who are working in the big fours and they, really like, even as an article, you like a balance of life. And do you guys manage that little balance in your firms? Do you get the days off, weekends off? Do you get time for yourself in the evenings, etc.? Is there some sort of balance? Nishit, what about you?
so, particularly talking about weekends, we rarely work on weekends. Even during the season, there are 1 2 weeks maybe that we would have to work to meet our deadlines. And coming back to our work-life balance, get around half an
Voice is breaking a
hour.
little bit. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So coming back to work-life balance, there are uh, uh, as I specifically mentioned that we have flexible working hours, so we we could complete our studies in the morning, then start our day, or we could start early and
And early.
then late.
And oh, nice. Oh, great. Karishma said, what about work life? Like, is there a
So
work
yeah,
life?
it It is our firm actually believes in work life balance, so they in office also they do plan such activities which allows us to take a break from work, like be it board games or offsites, picnic, whatever. Like they have a pretty much balanced life work wise also. And weekends we only have, as articles we only have, as articles no, in fact employees also only second Saturday we have working. And season maybe like now in July, maybe third or fourth might be working, but otherwise all year round it's just a second Saturday it's working.
So weekends are
So it is
respected,
very,
Sundays are respected. Good job there. Guys,
yeah.
is
So
life at
I'd like
one?
to
Yeah,
add something.
of course, said yes, please.
Yeah, so we have weekends off, but something that I've realized is that the work has been same last year and current year. But the thing is that when you're new, maybe you're scared or everything feels new and like you don't know what to do. At that time, you feel stressed out while working, and that could lead to a notion that you don't have a good work-life balance. But once you get polished and you get used to the people you're working with, you know how to manage your work, and so basically you realize that everything is pretty manageable, like the
You
studies along with the
a
working
part of
hours.
the whole hour working, you get used to it also, and you manage it better
Correct.
in the second
And
year.
how to talk to your people too, like
Yeah,
if you need a leave, at first it feels daunting,
yeah,
but then like over time you can just go to them that, hey, I can't work today, and that's the case, like what will you do? So
very
even
nice,
they are like, yeah, what
very
will we
nice.
do,
Good
you
to
can't work, you can't.
good to hear. So one question: when I was interviewed at a Big Four PwC and I've had working, there used to be some partners whom I used to really look up to. They were really dynamic. They would talk well. They would dress up well. They would walk well. They had this really big aura, and that really inspired me, pushed me to become a chartered accountant faster. Is that the case at your firms? Do you have partners? Do you have people who are like inspiring you? Is that what you can, some article can look forward to in large firms as well?
Definitely, like the partners are very, humbling. At the same time, they are very approachable. Like they would talk to you in a way that you would feel like, okay, I want to go more and ask more and learn more from them. So they definitely inspire, and the way they work and the way they have the attitude towards their clients, that automatically gets into us slowly. That okay, this is how even I need to be, or वो naturally आता है कि now this is how even I want to do my work or I want to do my studies. So it's not just about work, it's automatically applies to studies that okay, yeah, I need to do this or I need to do that. Even like many rankers are also there, so like we get an idea how do we go about it. They not just like brief us for work, they also help us with any aspect of studies, academics. If we have anything, we can go and talk to them, like yeah, so it matters.
Very good, because Big Four have this slight, approach problem because the partners somewhere are too high flying and you can't like talk to them, etc. Interact. But that's a very good thing here. Anyone else wants to take that up? Anyone you inspired at office? Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
sir.
so
So even, yeah,
Both
they
of
go
you
on, go.
back to back. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's like my partner sits like 20 feet away from me, so it's like we are in a viewing distance, so that helps a lot. So
Is that dangerous?
whenever I have a doubt, yeah, so that's pretty good. Whenever I have something, I can take it up to him. He's too friendly. He'll too joyous, joke around with me, and he's also a mentor. He guides me a lot on what to do after this, what to do industrial, not to do industrial. So it's like more of a friend rather than being a partner, and
Such a
it's good.
nice thing to hear. Than more a friend than a partner. Very nice. Sid, you were also adding something.
Yeah, sir, the fact is that all the partners have great charisma. And when we have different internal seminars, we notice that there are some partners, and I feel that there could be these kinds of partners everywhere who are very article friendly. So they take article initiatives, they come to us and then ask us, how's your work going? And are you planning on taking any seminars for the newer articles? So those kinds of partners do exist. And then there are also times when your seniors or managers are absent for a long time. During those times the work feels a lot, but the best thing that happens is that you get to work with the partner directly. Like that also goes on
Such a big,
generally, but
big,
during
big.
those times the partner banks on you a lot. and that also connects you to the partner, and those are crazy people.
Love the thoughts,
Big.
friend, mentor. Love the fact that they have charisma.
Yeah.
That really goes a long way in inspiring you to be there. Now let's come to a very tricky question about stipend. So, as articles, I'm sure like money is something that is nice to pay your own bills, but did it meet your stipend requirement? Like, how much is the stipend typically for first, second, third year in your firms? Typical, just numbers, rough numbers.
So it is 15, 20, and 25.
Excellent.
Uh,
That's before complete
and then
before.
so the best part is also there's a bonus. So what happens whenever I complete a year continuously, so I get a 10% or 20% based on the firm policy. It changes every year. So the
Excellent.
bonus is like a very sweet deal, but
Yeah,
obviously I didn't go for a stipend.
I
The
understand.
thing
I
is,
just wanted people
I
to
want a good work.
small range, of what large firms offer. So that's very good. And the cherry on the cake is that bonus. Sid, what about
Yeah,
your
the
firm?
bonus.
Names are 15, 20, 25.
Great. Karishma, what about your?
Ours is 11, 12, and 13.5.
Okay. So not as high as them, but not bad actually. And is there
Yeah.
any bonus or anything that like that? Do they revise it? Do they incentivize you all?
No, not bonus, but yeah, the reimbursement stuff, which is like everywhere. So that
Okay.
is there.
That helps. That helps.
Yeah.
Nice. Nishit, what about you?
When I joined back in March 22,
Yep.
there were two different practices. One was the uh, of Indian direct tax and audit, and there was a international practice of US audit, US tax. So there were different tax for both of these. So for
I
the
got it.
tax,
Any range of
7.5.
articles in both of them? Approximate range of article stipend in both of them?
Can you
Any
uh,
stipend? Like what is the range of stipend? Stipend?
in the Indian practice, the earliest stipend was 7.5, 10, 12.5, and for the international practice, it was 12, 15, 17, and 20. Then in April 22, they chose to revise the stipend and increase the stipend. So now for the Indian practice, it's 12.5, 15, 17.5, and for the international practice, it's 17.5, 20.5.
So there's a revision and good healthy revision. I'm sure these are all good numbers. At least you can pay your own bills, etc. And you're not working there for that, but it just like really helps. A little bit of this helps really. I have a very number kind of a question. If you were to do articleship all over again, yes, of course नहीं करना है, but if you have to do articleship all over again, क्या same firm में करोगे? On a scale of 10, you have to rate it. On 10 being yes, you'll do it again, and 1 being no, you'll choose some other firm. In mid, you can just be very candid about it. Dave, what about you?
Yeah, I would like to do it again, but now the thing is, I would choose a different team, I guess. So I would want not from mergers and acquisition, but valuations or other stuff, so that I
Excellent.
would get a better idea for the other thing also.
God, Sid, what
Yeah.
about
So
you?
on a scale of,
Oh, sorry.
yeah,
Yeah.
go on, Sid. No, 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 Sid.
Sir, I would rate it on 7, because since you are asking it whether you would do it again, so the realization is that maybe not exactly the work that I'm doing, with some changes or
The firm,
maybe a newer
firm is
or wider.
okay.
Firm is perfect.
Firm is
There
okay.
is
Okay.
no problem.
I was talking about the firm also, but yeah, Dave also, I think the
Yeah,
firm
yeah.
is okay. He just wants a
9,
different,
7.
same with you. Karishma, what about you?
Like definitely yes, I would continue. I would again do it. Had you asked me this like 6 months back or maybe 9 months back, now it's almost a year that I'm here. I would have said Big Four, but no, the work culture, the learnings, the opportunities that matters a lot. And I have not even got a single complaint with that areas of the work.
Excellent to
So I
hear.
would definitely do again. And also, there's so much to learn here that I know for a fact that even if I do again, I'm sure I will get another things to do. Like they're from ranging from transfer pricing to international tax to returns to assessments, everything. Like there is so
I'm
much to learn.
putting
You
a
can't
11
even
on
cover
10.
up in.
11 on 10.
Yeah, I would definitely do it. Yeah.
And Nishit, what about you? Would you like do it again? You're the same firm.
Yeah, definitely. Uh, I would like to do it again in the same firm, but I would try if I could learn new. So I,
Something
so
new, but
I,
similar firm or same firm.
yeah, same form.
Great. And just one last question. Do you all have great parties and good coffee in your office? Like, is that a thing? Are they generous with that?
Yeah, definitely. We get snacks in the evening
Oh,
from
good.
office
I was
itself
just thinking
daily.
coffee and
So
snacks also.
yeah,
They
yeah,
have
coffee
parties
is
in
still
office.
there. Yeah.
Yeah, we have. So last week we went for a clubbing. It was a promotees party, so we went there. So there,
So
so
there is a
matlab,
happy
I think
tea
they need a
party.
reason for a party.
Oh, nice. Sid and Nishit, what about you all? Like, do you all have a great time? Otherwise,
Free coffee, free food, that is a given, and also great parties. And I feel more than the parties within the firm, the parties that you go out to with your fellow articles are the ones
that's
to
the
be.
best. Nice. And Nishit, what about you? Do you all have celebrations?
And for everyone's birthday, when anyone joins, there is a Diwali party, Christmas party. There are offsites, yearly offsites. So all in all, it's
So
very well.
don't miss out on anything actually. Honestly, summarizing it, guys, I've just discussed yesterday with the big four articles, and now these are large form articles, and I feel they're at par. And sometimes I feel with the balance that they're getting and the approachability to meet partners, etc. I think I would suggest this a notch up as compared to even the big fours, because somewhere there's a little hesitation of meeting people, and some partners are really high flying. So I think those negatives have been covered up here. Guys, thank you so much for this time. Especially a bigger thank you to Nishit for getting everyone together, and to all of you all for making this possible on a Sunday. Thank you so much, and watch out for Reels and the YouTube video as well. Thank you, guys. Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you,
you
sir.
for having us.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you so much, sir.
Pleasure, guys.
Thank you.
Pleasure's mine. Thank you.